It's kind of crazy how much we don't show up for ourselves. By we, I mean me. It's kind of crazy, honestly. There are so many instances that I've been seeing where I don't have my own back, where I look for the approval of others to feel okay about myself. And what's kind of funny is when I used to look at these self care, self love quotes a few months ago, not a few months ago, but a few years ago, that shit made zero sense to me. I was like, yeah, this seems a bit like it didn't make sense to me. It felt a bit weird. It felt a bit like, what are y'all even doing? And now I look at it, I'm like, why aren't y'all doing this? Because it makes all the sense in the world. I've given up kind of trying to make a model and present it to people which makes sense to them, because I don't know, man, what makes sense to me has been changing a lot. So I'm not even going to try to label whatever it is that I believe, or whatever my perspective is, or whatever it is that I'm going through, because I feel like it's so dynamic, it's so changing, and I can't do justice to what's coming through if I'm going to stick to one narrative and I'm going to say this narrative only makes sense to me, all other narratives are false. I feel like if I go to that way of looking at things, then the space for evolution, the space to grow becomes very limited, because then you're holding yourself down to a narrative. I mean, I used to identify strongly as Buddhist in the sense of, I don't know, not even the five precepts Buddhist, but what I thought was the path. Um, and yeah, if you look at Sri Lanka, there are so many different approaches, and some make more sense than others for sure. But I don't know, I don't know if I can advocate for any one path. What I feel like is different people going through different time periods are going to resonate with different things, and perhaps that's exactly what they have to go through in order for them to grow. So I don't see it as this sort of right or wrong thing, rather than everything is kind of sort of working out how it's supposed to be. People are given the medicine that they are needed, it's right in front of them, but whether or not they take that decision to take that medicine is completely, up to the people itself, up to you, up to me, because we are presented with our medicine. Yeah, if you go into the heart, so if you go into your heart and what you're feeling and your intuition, that where it will lead you is where you are supposed to go. This space we make from our mind, the safe space we make from our mind, is not where we are supposed to go. That's basically our logic trying to keep us from whatever is uncomfortable. So it's going to come up with all these sorts of narratives and stories in order to keep you safe. But ships are safe in the harbor, but that's not what ships were made for. In the same way, you were not made to just be in the harbor, you were just not made to be in the prison of your mind. Yeah, you were meant to go further into your heart, into truth. So whenever your mind comes and sells you a story, when it sells you a narrative, when it sells you a small ramu, a small cage, a small prison of looking at things only in one way, it keeps you, man. It keeps you trapped. And you tell yourself all these stories, all these lies of who you are, because when you do, you stay within a safe zone, but that safe zone isn't safe at all. It's actually one of the most dangerous places you could be, because you're living, you choose to live in an illusion, and it doesn't serve you. It constantly, what you call, betrays you. It constantly puts you in the dark. It constantly gaslights you. So you fall into believing all these things you think you are, when you are actually far beyond all of that. I had a dream to make like a healing home, and I mean, somewhere down the line, I would do it, but the whole point was a center where people could come and really heal, and that was my goal. But what's funny is right now I feel like I am going through a lot of healing, a lot of seeing parts of myself which I never had seen before. And it's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's such a journey you go by yourself, because I've seen all these posts about community and people, and I see that, and I agree up to an extent, but after a certain point you have to take the power to yourself and go through what you are going through. It's always good to have someone, until you can do it on your own. I guess it's always good to have someone to kind of show you, and the perspective of friends help, seeing places where you can't see sometimes, but more often than not it's something you had to do for yourself, because the medicine is there. Whether or not we are going to go into the discomfort, dive in, be the discomfort, love it, is completely up to you. Yeah, it's not up to anyone else. It's not up to your partner, it's not up to a Buddha, it's not up to your teacher. No, no, the real healing home is what you give yourself, is what you give yourself. It's that space you have created within yourself to be whatever it is that you are, to go through whatever it is that you have to go through. Sometimes you have to go through, and sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes there's a lot of emotion, of sadness, of grief, which will come up, which you probably have stored away for long periods of time, and now they're finally resurfacing for it to be seen. And all of these just has to be witnessed. It shouldn't be denied, and it shouldn't even be like, it's not even like fucking rocket science. It's not like you're trying to figure out what is it's like a love. The answer will come when it's time. You don't have to like think so much about it. Thinking will not really give you an answer. I mean, I'm smiling because it's so controversial to me. I don't know what I've been telling like 4 years ago. I think I said the polar opposite. I said thinking is a way. Thinking is a way until it's not. For certain beginning stages, certain algorithms, certain ways and patterns of thinking can help you figure out certain things. But real reflection does not happen from thinking. Real reflection happens from being and allowing to come up, and then you see. There's not a lot of thinking to be done.